everybody, it's Unraged, and welcome back to yet another rant. Yes, another one. I know, it's crazy. So today we're talking about, as you can probably tell already by the thing that's right next to me, I guess. I almost said you. Anyway, we're talking about flags. That wasn't dragged out at all. Anyway, so let's jump right in. The first flag is the United States. Obviously, if you're an American, which, let's be real, everyone who's watching this is, because the only people who are watching this are people I know, so, United States flag, 50 stars for each state, not the territories, though. Poor Puerto Rico. And there are 5 of those, by the way. The 13 stripes symbolize the 13 original states. Fun fact, the first time we added stars, we also added stripes. So there was a flag that had 15 stripes on it, because there was 2 states added at the same time, so... Anyway, but then we realized that was a really bad idea, so we got rid of those 2 stripes the next time we made a flag. But that flag specifically is the one that's called the Star Spangled Banner. None of the other ones, just that one specifically. The current flag is actually called Old Glory. Let's get a whiteboard in here. So like I said, the American flag is neat. It's not neat. It's kind of overcrowded, to be honest. Fight me. Anyway, so you can't talk about the U.S. flag without talking about the flag of Liberia, which is a country in Africa that the U.S. colonized, actually. I know, we colonized a country in Africa. The interesting thing is we colonized it by sending freed slaves there to fend for themselves, which is why their capital is named after a president. So yeah, Liberia's flag is basically just the U.S. flag, except the stripes stand for counties, and because Liberia has counties instead of states. We have counties, but we have states as states come before counties here. You know what I mean. And then they have 1 star, so yeah. Liberia exists. It's a weird place. And they have horrible flags for their counties, by the way. I don't want to get into it, but they're truly awful. It hurts me how awful. Next up we have, after that, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. You might be wondering why do I specify Northern Ireland. Fun fact, Ireland is actually not entirely independent. A tiny portion of Ireland, known as Northern Ireland at the top of Ireland, is part of the United Kingdom, which is not just England, by the way. But that's not what we're talking about, so don't need another diamond rant. Ireland. Not Ireland. The United Kingdom is a interesting flag because its flag combined the Kingdom of England and Scotland's flags, and what was at the time when Ireland was added into the Union, and then it seceded, but they kept the flag the same because Northern Ireland still was part of the UK, even though Northern Ireland doesn't use that flag anymore. Basically, they mashed all of them together, and it looks really neat as a result of that, despite the fact that all of them, apart from each other, are very basic. So it's neat. It's very unique. The only other country I can think of that's done something like that is Austria-Hungary, but they haven't existed since the end of World War I. And then next, we have Turkey. And Turkey doesn't have anything really fascinating about its flag. I mean, sure, it's aesthetically pleasing. There are 2 things to note about Turkey's flag. 1, yes, it has the crescent and moon on it. There are a lot of flags that have crescent and moon on it because it symbolizes Islam. Turkey's flag is particularly well known for this. and I think it might have been one of the first modern countries to use it. In fact, Turkey's predecessor state, the Ottoman Empire, used the same flag. So that's neat. And now we have Ukraine, which is a thing that's being invaded right now, so hopefully their flag continues to be used. Screw you, Russia. So Ukraine's flag is interesting because the blue symbolizes the sky and the yellow symbolizes wheat fields. It's just a very aesthetically pleasing flag, and it's what's called a bicolor, if I remember correctly. Its more well-known cousin is the tricolor, but I don't think I have it. Oh wait, no, yes I do. I'm going to show Estonia, that country that claims it's Nordic even though nobody cares. And just to prove that they're not Nordic, you don't have a cross on your flag, even though there have been suggestions for it, but that's beside the point. So Estonia's flag symbolizes a forest in the winter. So, blue on the top is the sky, black in the middle, that's the forest, white on the bottom, that's snow. And just in case you thought, well, that's crazy, look at this picture. So yeah, Estonia's flag is actually not only very visually appealing, it has some pretty cool symbolism, just like Ukraine's. And now we actually have two flags. We have Australia and New Zealand. They are not the same. Australia is a continent. New Zealand is two islands. It's actually more than two, but two major islands. So yeah. The same thing is, well, not the same thing, but okay. So Australia is, the way to tell the difference is Australia has 7 pointed stars on their flag. I think they have one regular star, but that's besides the point. And New Zealand has red stars on their flag, and they don't have a big star in the corner. So yeah, that's Australia. Next up, we have the flag of Chad and Romania. And the reason I say "and" is not because it's one country, like in the case of Austria-Hungary. Actually, there's no "and" there, but anyway. Chad and Romania are two entirely separate countries. Chad is in Africa, Romania is in Europe. For some reason, they somehow ended up with the same flag. So basically the story behind that is during the Soviet era, Romania was forced to put a coat of arms on their flag as the official flag. When they gained when the Soviet Union collapsed and the Romanian Revolution happened, Romania was not part of the Soviet Union, but they were forced to be part of the Warsaw Pact. So, anyway, when the Romanian Revolution happened and Romania stopped being communist, they got rid of the coat of arms on their flag. The problem was that Chad, the country in Africa, had gained independence during the time that Romania was part of the Warsaw Pact. So Chad, seeing that Romania had a coat of arms on their flag, said, okay, well, this flag's available, so then they did that. But the problem was, now you've got two countries who have the almost exact same flag. There is a slight color variation, but it doesn't matter. And there's actually two more countries named Andorra and Moldova. Moldova has relations with extremely close ties to Romania, so that one kind of makes sense. And they do not have the same flag as Chad and Romania, but they have very similar flags to Chad and Romania, where the only difference is the coat of arms. I could go further into this with like Indonesia and Monaco, and then to a certain extent Poland, but I won't, because I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long like the last one was. Thus, we have reached our final country, Nepal, a special country that doesn't have a rectangle as their flag. Very unique in that one. And Nepal is honestly actually an interesting topic, but let me get it. Basically, so the sun and sun-moon thing symbolize gods from Nepal's major religions, although I don't know if they're still their major religions because Nepal has had that flag for so long. They actually used to have faces on them, which was absolutely terrifying, so good on them for getting rid of those because, again, it was absolutely terrifying. But they kept the unique non-rectangular shape, which honestly the flag community is very split on whether it looks good or looks bad. I think it looks awesome. The reason it's triangular is because the triangles are supposed to simulate. The triangles are supposed to symbolize the Himalayan mountains, which, spoiler alert, are, well, some of them, most of the range is in Nepal, which is probably the only reason why Nepal is still independent. Anyway, so, speaking of the Himalayas, Nepal has half of Mount Everest. I say half because the other half belongs to the Chinese. They did the same thing to the Koreas. Not with North Korea and South Korea. I mean, they split the most important mountain in Korea. And I think they did that somewhere in India, too, but I can't remember. Anyway. Yeah, that's some flag stuff. So, end of the video now. Please watch more.